our very first session in the afternoon, we have Kushal Nagrani. He is a data solutions architect with over 14 years of experience, having worked across industries such as banking, security, healthcare, entertainment, and manufacturing with leading global organizations. His expertise spans solution architecture.
And today I'll be presenting on AutoML and no-code ML on AWS. So let's get started. I hope everyone is refreshed, not sleeping. Okay, let's start. Okay, so this is the QR code for my LinkedIn profile. Before we start, if you want to connect with me later on, if you have some doubts related to the session or overall, you can always reach out to me. Okay. So let's start with the session. We'll introduce machine learning first. What is it for everyone? Let's start for the beginners. So like the headline says, we teach computers to learn from the data, just like we do. We humans, we animals, we also learn by experiencing or experimenting. Okay, machine learning is nothing, just the recognition of patterns, and you predict outcomes, and then you learn from the experiences, just like humans do. So here, if you see in the image, owl is trying to learn ML, recognize patterns, and then there's a dog. We provide that dog a food, and it wags its tails. So we can take this as a training, and then again when we provide the dog with different food, it wags its tail. So we can reach the outcome that the dog wags its tail when it's provided with food. So similar to that, we provide data to whatever the business problem we have, and then we create the model, and then we train the model on the data, and then we predict outcomes. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so let's pause for a minute and see what's there in the image. So there is a summit on the top of mountain. There's a viewpoint, and there are 3 ways going to the top. So you can assume that the viewpoint or the summit is something like making a machine learning model, which is more useful to the business, bringing more value to the business. So how we reach there is there are 3 ways actually. So if you start from the right, we have a hard track. So it's like a manual way. So you prepare or customize models. You do everything right from the data preparation, feature engineering, and then training your model. Everything you do according to your. But that is a tedious process, and it requires expertise. Again, when you move to the second part, you have stairs going to the same summit. So here, AutoML comes into picture. There are various services in AWS stack which support this AutoML. So there is a whole ecosystem. So what it does, you have to write the code, but not that much. AutoML will take care of the operational overhead part of the machine learning process. You just have to write the code. You have to just provide the data, and you have to just focus on the business problem. And the third part and the most interesting part is the escalator. So escalator is like the no-code way of doing the ML on the AWS ecosystem. Again, AutoML comes into the pictures, but there are different services here. Here, if you talk about the stairs, we have AutoML Autopilot, SageMaker Autopilot. But here, when you talk about the escalator, the automated part, you have SageMaker Canvas. So Canvas is like, you don't have to write the code. You have to just drag and drop. That's it. I'll show. There's a demo in between. I'll show it to you. Okay, and when you talk about the stairs, so you have to write the code. There are Jupyter notebooks enabled in the SageMaker where you have to provide the code, and training part and all, it will be taken care of by the AutoML. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so how many of you think that machine learning was there for only data scientists? Anyone? Okay, so it was true until some time when machine learning was deemed to be true for machine learning was there for only the data scientists. But now the scenario has changed a lot in recent years. Now machine learning is for everyone, and AWS is the leader which has made it possible. So earlier, data scientists used to do all the tasks manually. They used to have long training cycles. They used to have classification and whatever the steps were there in the manual part. They used to do everything manually. But then the tools were introduced. Some tools were SageMaker and Bedrock, where it was made possible that the um, business or the developer, they used to focus more on the problem rather than worrying about the process. So they had some manual steps still. And after that, if the industry involved into the no-code ML, just like I said, AWS SageMaker is such example where you have to just focus on the business problem. You don't have to worry about the operational overhead or training models. It will give you everything in the one dashboard. It will give you the prediction of the whatever the results are there earlier. You can preview the model and you can preview the accuracy also. It will take care of the internal parameters automatically. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so what is AutoML? AutoML is just an ecosystem which involves some services in AWS. Like I said, AWS SageMaker, you have Autopilot, you have SageMaker Canvas, then you have Bedrock, then you have also Jumpstart. So combination of these services, we call it AutoML. Since AutoML is nothing, just some automated machine learning. So just like I said earlier, that it automates all the unnecessary steps rather than focusing on those or worrying about the operational overhead. You can focus more on the business problem. So this is the overview, what we would like to show. So that's what I said. It uses ML complexity faster and experience and outcomes. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so these are the levels of automated machine learning. You can see the first part is AutoML. It has some services, like I mentioned. It automates processes. There are some configuration options available. You can just try it around. And then there is no-code AutoML, where you have all the pre-configured defaults. You have this is simple to use. You will have all the models available in the services, in the Bedrock, even in the Jumpstart. You have to just use them out of the box, or you can just customize according to you. It depends what's your use case. And then there's a no-code ML part where you can use SageMaker Canvas. You can just load your data set and then just give the data set what you want to do from that. You just have to select the models, whatever models you want. You can just put the checkbox, and then it automatically gives you the results for those after the training on that data set. So you can just select whatever model is better for you. Yeah. So this is the AutoML ecosystem I was talking about. First is the SageMaker Autopilot. It's like a hybrid of the no-code environment and the code environment. It's a low-code environment basically. It automates the unnecessary steps of ML pipeline, which you don't have to focus about. Then there is a SageMaker Canvas, where you don't have to write a single line of code. You have to just select the service, go to in that dashboard, and just select the data set, and you can train on your. You have to just select on the models. Yeah, it's a drag and drop. And then Jumpstart. Jumpstart and Bedrock are the two services which AWS provides, which have some pre-built models in there. The only difference between Jumpstart and Bedrock is that Jumpstart lets you customize your own models and train your own models and host your own models. But Bedrock is just the collection of all the models available already. You can just use them out of the box. But in Jumpstart, you can create a model, you can customize it, and you can use it according to your case. And mostly Bedrock is suitable for generative AI, and Jumpstart is more focused on the ML problems. Okay. So what is Autopilot? So it's the main component of the AutoML part in the AWS journey. So here you have fully managed AutoML engine. You can see here we just load the data. There can be any source. From this example, we can see that it's an S3. You can always connect from Redshift or any other data source. You can select whatever the target you are selecting for the model prediction or checking what are the inferences. And then you have to create the model. You can take from the pre-trained models as well. You have a lot of models available in the library. You can use Jumpstart, and you can use Bedrock as well here. you can just bring in or import those models here and use it with SageMaker Notebook. Okay, it gives you full visibility and control with the model notebooks, and then you can just check which model is giving you best results through model leaderboard, and then you can probably just take that model into production. So it's basically, it saves you some cost there rather than going and trying manually every model. It gives you results before and what will be the accuracy. So yeah, that's the part which AutoML and Autopilot takes care of. Okay, so SageMaker Canvas. We spoke about SageMaker Canvas as the um, no-code service. It's basically a drag and drop service which lets you write. Just lets you automate everything. You don't have to write any line of code here. You just go to the SageMaker Canvas dashboard, and from there you can just select your data set and just process that through the ML pipeline. It's very easy. Okay, there are different sources: S3, Redshift, Athena, Snowflake, Salesforce, Databricks. You can take data from there. You have to just take care how you can bring in data into the AWS cloud. You have different connectors available, obviously, and you have a SageMaker Data Wrangler. It helps you prepare data before you actually feed it to the actual model. So there, what this Wrangler does, it has a data cleaning mechanism, and it removes if you have some noisy values like nulls, you have duplicates, it will take care of that. It will show you if your data set is not clean or it has some issues. So there and all, you can use that. And yeah, it lets you access pre-built and foundation models via SageMaker Jumpstart and Bedrock. So yeah, the icon shows that it's a drag and drop. It has different windows, and you can just play around with it. Okay, let's move to Jumpstart. Jumpstart is the AWS service which lets you bring in the trained models, already pre-trained models, and use it. And you can customize it with your own hyperparameters also. And this is different from Bedrock, where Bedrock lets you, there are advanced models available from the different third-party vendors as well. Here you can host your model as well. So just a case for that. This is probably a generative AI application. Bedrock is always better for that, but we can use Jumpstart as well. So you browse the public and proprietary foundation models. You select a model, you experiment around it, and then you can customize. You can play around with the parameters. Like I said, you can have the F1 score tuned, fine-tuned according to use case, and then you can deploy into production. So this is how it works internally. Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the Bedrock. It's similar to Jumpstart. Only thing, it has third-party models, and you have to use out of the box. You cannot customize it basically that much customization, and you cannot host your own models here. You have to just use the pre-trained and the models which are already available from third-party vendors as well. So it supports fine-tuning and retrieval augmented generation as well, and it has already built in guardrails. So you have to just choose a foundation model, and you can use it, or you can just customize that model, and then you can send a prompt, and it will give you a response. So this is an ideal ML journey. Okay, this is the whole ecosystem and the tech stack in which SageMaker stands out. Earlier, SageMaker started as a very basic service. It just used to support notebooks. But now if you see, it has expanded to a lot of services. It includes now many things, like I said, Canvas and Autopilot. And you have, to control CI/CD also, you have SageMaker Studio. There you can have everything there in one place. So it's like a one-stop shop where you can just use and take care of everything from one place. Okay. The same thing I told earlier, that what are the features of Autopilot. You can it's very quick, very easy to start use it, and there's automatic model creation. There's a visibility and call. You get to say what you are working with, and then you have recommendations and optimizations. Okay. So this is a basically demo. You can just scan the QR code. It will point you to the GitHub repository, where I've put in two use cases. One is the Jupyter Notebook. Other one is the Word document with screenshots. How can you use SageMaker Canvas? So the Jupyter Notebook, you can import it to your cloud, or your SageMaker, and you can probably use it through autopilot. It has steps. You have to just replace the parameters there. And the Word document, it has some screenshots. So you can just check that the screenshots how to work around with the canvas, SageMaker canvas. Sorry. Okay. I think we can move on. Okay. So how can we choose the right ML tool? So it depends on use case, how you want to do it. So SageMaker Canvas, it's for the business users, and it doesn't require any prior coding experience. You can get quick ML insights within few minutes, and basically it's used for forecasting and predictions. SageMaker Canvas, and then you have SageMaker Autopilot. Basically, all the developers can use it. You have Jupyter kind of interface notebook, and there you can just write your functions, and rest training and building that model, it will be taken care by the autopilot. And basically, it can be used for churn, classification, prediction problems. Then comes SageMaker Jumpstart. It can be used by ML engineers, and it requires prior experience in coding because you get to fine-tune and train your models as well. You get to select or customize your models, and it's good for when you want to prepare for your own custom case study, and it's basically good for recommendation anomalies. Last service is Bedrock. It can be used by all the teams, but depends again what is your use case. Bedrock is beneficial especially for the Gen AI use cases. And there are several foundation models, and there is one new feature available in Bedrock called model distillation. So basically, you select a foundation model, create your model, and then it acts as a teacher model, and then you train your small model on top of that teacher model. So it's like a teacher and student relationship, and it does like that. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, when to use AutoML? It's when you have very less time to test some ideas and we have a lot of options available, you can use AutoML and check what is the accuracy that model is giving. So when you select your business problem and you go to the AWS console and you just upload the data set, and then you see what all the models are giving, what are the accuracies they are giving after training. It will just take few minutes to get to know the accuracy, but then you have to select out of that which model you want to take it to the next environment. Okay. So when you have limited data science resource, you have limited expertise, always you can go ahead with the AutoML, what AWS recommends. Third is structured data set. When you are working mostly on the tabular data, SQL data or relational data, then you can use AutoML, any part of SageMaker Canvas or SageMaker Autopilot. Okay, but if you want to have you have a very complex problem to solve, or you want customization, maximum customization, then we don't recommend using AutoML, because it's always good to use basically Jumpstart. You can use it will give you features of AutoML and then customization on top of that. And when you have real-time edge inference, so if suppose you are working on a use case where you have IoT devices in place and you want to take data in real time or near real time, you can obviously, you don't have to use this. You have to build your custom models on top of AWS foundation models using Bedrock. You can probably use. And if you are concerned about deep learning with domain-specific knowledge, then it's always good to go ahead with the Bedrock customization model, not just AutoML. Okay, cost governance and best practices. Always, it's a very basic rule that you have to use the smallest of the machines or instances wherever possible. So that's why I put whatever the lowest possible value is for ML instances in AWS, MLT3 medium. You have smaller also, but free tier supports, this is the maximum one which supports. So you can use the free tier with MLT3 medium. Sorry. And Autopilot runs multiple jobs. You can estimate time and cost at the same time. So you have to just take care, when you go to the dashboard, it will show you when you predict some inferences or you just run your customized model. You have to check what is the time it is taking and what is the cost or what are the resources it's consuming. Okay. And you always have to delete the endpoints after anything, after when you're showing the demo. For in this case, I prepared a demo, so that's why I had to delete everything, all the resources. And you have a cost explorer service in AWS. There you can actually check what all services are costing you how much and what all resources are being consumed by each service. And you can store models in the model registry for traceability. And these models can act later on as your base models, so that it will have some parameters you can always check before using it again. Okay. Okay. Real world use cases. You have to predict customers churn and purchase intent. So churn is something like how many customers are coming again and how many customers you are going to lose. So you can always predict it. And purchase intent, suppose you have a catalog to browse. Some customers are browsing the catalog. How many customers are actually buying from there and how many are just browsing? You can take out number by using this AutoML quickly. And banking, loan default prediction, and obviously loan application. Suppose people are applying for loans, and how many of them are going to get the loan, if they are eligible to get the loan, or they are not bound to have the loan. This all you can predict using AutoML quickly. And in HR, iteration forecasting, similar to what we have churn prediction. And marketing, you have campaign response modeling. So this is the main use cases you can have in AutoML, but always you can customize also. Okay, next step. So this is just the introduction to AutoML. It's very new even to me also. I've just used a couple of times. But how you would have to integrate with MLOps, it depends. So you have to take care from the AWS also, or you want to build a customized ML pipelines like ML flow. You want to use third-party libraries, you can always do that. And you can use clarifier for bias detection. So there is a service called, so there is a parameter you can check when you go actually in the AutoML. You can check how much bias is there for a particular model. And for generative AI cases, we have to try Bedrock. These are the next steps. And you can explore Jumpstart pre-trained models for other use cases. Yeah. So these are some steps. I think we have wrapped it quickly. So any questions you have, but I'll just point it to demo part so that you can take a look. I wanted to show you demo, but there's no live connection available, so this internet issue.